Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together and welcome our host for this evening, Diamond President Chong Peng.
Hello. Hi, good evening everyone. Thank you for taking your time to come here. May I know how many of you first time here? Can I have a... Wow. Your first time? Okay, so tonight we have a great group of people. I think I'll stand here better, yeah? Otherwise... Hello, Uncle. So, tonight I want to ask one very simple question. Okay? Why some people age very fast? What we call 操劳. And why are some people thriving? Anybody can just shout out why? Why do you think some people age very fast? I show you celebrities for a reason. Why? It's the amount of care you give to your body, correct or not? Yes? Then what most of us will say is, they are rich, they can employ people to look after them, but have you seen their life? Their life is so hectic, they do a lot of things. You can see Jackie Chan jump down 3 stories but never die. None of us do that, but we age faster than them. I think it's only a matter of how much we care for ourselves. So now I'm very happy after being in this business for about 11 years, okay, helping people to look after their health, to tell people, because most of us, how many of you think you are healthy? Super healthy. Okay, very good. So we do all this, right? Okay, the moment I talk about healthy, you all put up your hands and I say, how many of you eat a balanced diet? How many of you take time to relax? See, only behind. Take time to relax. Don't put too much stress playing mahjong. Yeah? Mahjong no stress. Okay, exercise. I know Uncle here exercises a lot. Yeah. Then we are told to avoid processed food, right? How many of you have children? Young children. That they will continue to eat McDonald's every time you buy McDonald's for them. Okay, so we have been told, right? Avoid processed food. Okay, avoid alcohol. Okay, Singapore not big on narcotics, drugs, but you know what's the biggest abuser? No. We are so used to medicine. Okay, I can have a testimony from a doctor. After the patients came to see her, she didn't prescribe any medicine. The patient asked, "Doctor, how come this time no antibiotics?" We are so used to getting medicine and taking medicine. Why? Because it's a quick fix. Correct? So we've been told to avoid all that. So this is part of what we can do on our own to stay healthy, right? Yes? How many of you do this? How many of you do at least 3 of these things? Healthy diet, go out to the sun, do exercise. At least 3. How many of you avoid all those 3? Very good. Okay? But there's something that we haven't known yet, right? Okay, what about this? Do you all know about this? They even have a name for it. It's called electro smog. You know what smog, right? Smog is like haze. Smog is like what happens in Shanghai or Beijing when the big smog come in and it becomes hazy. Now they have this thing called electro smog, which is even worse. You don't see, don't feel, don't smell. But how many of you can live without handphone? Put up your hands. Or go to anywhere. What's the Wi-Fi password? And then in the past, our ancestors' time, all walk a lot, right? All walk to go from place to place. Physical activity is very high. Vehicle don't have, so don't have air pollution, right? And then maybe eat less because there's not so much food. But what happens today? Everybody drives a car, pollution very high. Okay, physical activity goes down. One day eat 3 times. Not 1 week eat 3 times. Now it's 1 day eat 3 times. So now suddenly we have to do exercise. Do you all know that exercise is how many of you believe me when I say, how many of you say I don't believe in supplement? Put up hand first. Okay, do you exercise, sir? Do you know that exercise is a supplement?
It's a lifestyle.
Exercise is a supplement for physical activities because you are not doing enough physical activities and you are having better food these days. So you never see an elephant eat already, go and walk on the treadmill. Elephants don't waste energy that way. Only human beings need to spend the energy, so it is a supplement. So when you have all these things against you, the thing that's affected in you are actually your cells. So a reality check is most of us are living longer these days. But how many of us are living well? In fact, you want to keep people living long, very simple. What? A life support machine can keep someone, after 50 years on iron lung, can still keep them on. But with iron lungs, you think the life is going to be very good? Are we living well? And we think that when we get old, it's okay to have, feel tired, get chronic diseases, joint pains. Is that okay? So the Chinese have a saying during Chinese New Year, they say, 天增岁月人增寿, means the heavens will add the numbers to your age. Okay? But it's humans that will add longevity to you. Which is true because as the earth goes around the sun, the number just go up and up. You cannot control that. But when you want to add longevity, which means you want to live well, right old age of 100, human beings have the intelligence to do that. Because human beings invented medicine to sustain life, to keep us going. But more and more people are realizing that no, that's not enough. We need to sustain life. We need to provide health care, not sick care. So this is what we do. So we think that getting old and getting sick is normal, but is it normal? Is there something else that is happening in our body that we are not aware of? Okay, there's something happening deep within us that's slowly coming into the front. Okay, can watch this.
Health is determined by the most basic living functional unit of our biology, the cell. How well our cells work, how well they repair themselves, and how well they reproduce is reflected in the way we function at the level of our tissues, organs, systems, and our performance in daily life. This is true for ourselves today and for our future selves. Aging is the result of cellular damage building up over time. Small inefficiencies in DNA repair, free radical scavenging, and telomere function create a cellular environment that further damages cells. The negative effects of poor cell health are seen across all biological scales, through tissues, organ systems, behavior, and performance.
Okay, so how many of you have heard of cells? I think everyone have. How many of you ever ask yourselves, are you healthy? Okay, there's no way to tell whether your cells are healthy or not, right? But what it shows is that if your cells, very logically, how many engineers here? I love engineers. Yes, see, I know William would. Because engineers are very simple. I'm a triple E engineer, electronics, electrical engineer. And the smallest item in your body, the cells, if they are healthy, they form healthy tissues, they form healthy organs, then they form a healthy you, right? Everything that comes into your body, with your bone, your teeth, your eyes, everything, digestive juice, all produced by cells. So keeping the cells happy and healthy, very important. Because there are such things, we are very well versed with two kinds of stress: mental stress and physical stress. But there's one stress that is very silent in our body called oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is when your cells are damaged by free radicals, through all this electromagnetic radiation and everything, or your body going through, especially older people, when you do exercise, your body produces a lot of free radicals that your body cannot equalize off. So your oxidative stress forms, and this is a key for 90 over kinds of diseases that happen in your body. But how many of you have heard of oxidative stress? I'm sure many have heard of antioxidants. This is what antioxidants does. Antioxidants will equal out the oxidative stress in our body. So we are going down to the cellular level to treat our body. And then when you have cells that are asleep, zombie cells, what we call senescent cells, these are the cells that refuse to die. And then they are emitting a lot of things that causes inflammation. Inflammation is 发炎. A lot of diseases are caused by chronic inflammation, 慢性发炎. And chronic inflammation, the word chronic means over a long period of time, which is why we think that when we get old, we must get sick. But if we don't let the inflammation happens over the time, then chances are we may not get sick. Correct? Again, engineering. The problem happens, don't treat, wait long, big problem happens. Because small problem, treat it long time, still consider small problem. Correct? Yeah? Okay? So when we have all these problems with the cells, how many of you first time hearing problem with the cells? We know problem with lungs, liver, cancer, stomach, bone. How many of you heard of problems in the cells? First time hearing about problems in the cells? Raise hand, please. All heard of problem in the cells before? Really? Huh? Okay. So every disease in your body starts with one cell. I think that's my... Hello, Zoom friends. Hello. There are about 40 people on Zoom watching us from overseas. So when we want to talk about cells, the more advanced level of, in the past, people give you supplements, right? It is always a one-to-one. What you are deficient, they give you what is deficient. You don't have enough vitamin B, take vitamin B. Don't have enough vitamin A, take vitamin A. But today, when people talk about supplementation, they're talking about bioactives that go into your cells, okay, that provides the peptides and all that to your cells to help your cells rejuvenate, regenerate, okay, and repair. So, in Avita, we do have a product here called CELERGEN, but tonight it's not a talk for me to tell you about CELERGEN, how good CELERGEN and all that is. But tonight, I've managed to scour and look for people who have had fantastic results with CELERGEN, and they are here to share with us, okay? So, without further ado, I'm not going to do most of the talking. I'm going to let them do the talking. And I must thank someone, okay? This is my upline, okay? And I would like to invite him to come and share. Okay, Mr. Yong Kong San and Ms. Susan Chong. Okay, so before that happens, we need a big fanfare. Any mahjong player here? When it comes to mahjong, you look very serious, yeah? Let's put a big hand to welcome Mr. Yong and Ms. Susan Chong. 阿哥可以站起来吗？跟大家挥手。So tonight I'm gonna be I'm going to have a conversation with each of these people who are coming up to share, okay? Okay. Come, have a seat. So we sit down, yeah?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Susan, and my beloved son, Elvin Young, mother of Elvin Young. I love you, son.
These are the parents of the person who introduced CELERGEN to me, whom later on I introduced to my family as well. So, yes. So, Susan, could you share with us what has CELERGEN done for you? How long have you been on CELERGEN?
18
You're going to put the mic here?
around 18 years.
18 years.
Ever since it was launched.
Ever since it was launched.
So
okay.
Elvin brought it to me and said, okay, you try this supplement. I said, oh, I'm going to be a white mice again. But looking back, I didn't regret.
See.
Now I'm the bunny jumping around, looking healthy, always energized.
May I know, Ray, can I check if the people on Zoom can hear us? Okay? Can, Okay. So from white mice, you became white rabbit.
Yep.
Okay, I hope at this age, being a rabbit is quite nice,
Hopping all around.
Yep. And I heard that recently there was some health issues that...
Yeah, actually when I started taking this CELERGEN, I don't have any health issues. I take it as this supplement as a maintenance to my body, to my health. So it was very good. I don't have any health issues, so I didn't know how much this CELERGEN is helping me. But as it goes along, you will feel you're better than before. You don't get tired so easily, and you always feel you want to do something and not sit around doing nothing. So after that,
so you have energy to spend.
Yep.
You have more energy to spend.
Yeah, big energy spend.
Big energy to spend.
Can play mahjong, late in the night, no problem, no coffee.
Oh, that sounds like my father, but...
Oh.
Yep.
Okay, then in the year 2024, I was renovating my house, and I went to the kitchen to get a drink and tried to avoid stepping onto the tiles, and I had a misstep and a jerk to the knee. So luckily I didn't fall down. So I didn't think much about it. So life goes on as usual. Go for my 10,000 walk every morning. Have makan with my kakis, and then a lot of activities. 2 days later, I woke up in the morning. Hey, why is my knee so painful? I said, is it arthritis or osteoporosis? It frightens me. I try to get up. Wow, it's really painful. Then I have to walk to do my washing up. And I started to feel it's getting pain. The more I walk, the more painful. But you still have to walk. So I have to walk and do things. I still went for my 10,000 steps. But I couldn't walk 10,000.
Really?
I usually walk an hour in the morning for the 10,000 steps. But I can't do that. I have to walk rather slow. And it turned out to be only 5,000. Half of it only. So I came back and then see, maybe it's I sprained my knee or something, starting putting ointment like a grandmother all over, smelly. Then I told Elvin, then he said, okay, you try this essence oil, a mixture of 3, and then you rub it on.
Okay.
So I did that, and then also I used metric cell to rub. It didn't really help. When you rub it at time, it was quite comfortable. After a while, the pain came back. And this lasted for around 3 weeks.
Okay.
So after 3 weeks, I feel, why is my leg still like that? I didn't know. Then I told myself, okay, I'm going to see a GP. So the GP say, I told the GP my story. Then he says, oh, maybe, I said I need an X-ray to see what is it. Then he said, no need, it's just an inflammation. And then he gave me some Panadol. The Panadol all went to the drain. Of course, I don't take Panadol. I cannot take, because my heart palpitates if I take Panadol or antibiotics. I can never go on that. So, and all the while, I don't really believe in GP. I believe in TCM, more on TCM.
Okay.
So whenever I have flu or cold or anything, I just go to Urinson, buy the tablet or buy the powder, and then, on it. And it works for me, you see. So then I say, what's the alternative to clear the pain or to relieve my pain? Then the doctor say, you put in a jab. I said, no, I won't. I know it's steroid jab.
Okay.
So I said, no. Then I went back home, and of course it's uncomfortable with the leg pain like that. So, but every morning I still go and walk. I cannot afford to sit at home. I say if I sit at home, the muscle will kind of, you have no muscle to support it.
Yes,
if
yes.
you sit too long.
Yes.
So I said, no, though it's a pain and limping, I still go, but it's a slow walk.
Okay.
3,000 steps, an hour, 3,000 steps, so it's a slow. I come back, then it's very frustrating when you're not feeling well, when
Yes.
you don't know what to do, and you can't stop doing your things. So then one Saturday, my children all come back for my family gathering. Then I told Alvin, after using the massaging and all that, it doesn't work. So he said, okay, then we go and see a specialist. So he took me to the specialist. And then, of course, the specialist did a lot of things and did a lot of checking, doing what do you call that? The knee hot massage.
Okay.
Try to relieve the pain. But it still didn't really work. So I was recommended to go to an orthopedic.
Yeah.
Then did an MRI. And there was a
tear.
fracture at
A
the
fracture.
side
A
of
fracture lasted 3 weeks, and she tahan 3 weeks.
side of the knee. So then I asked the doctor, what alternative is there for me to relieve the pain? Of course, he told me take Panadol, steroid jab, and the last one is to have a knee replacement. My eyes pop out like a goldfish, and there was a devilish question mark on my head. Knee replacement? It frightens me away. So I said, okay, I go home and consider and talk to my husband and my children. So we went home. And then I asked him, what will be the charges like for do a knee replacement? He says it's 50K.
It's about there, yeah.
Yeah, 50K. So, and at that moment I was thinking, if I use the 50K to buy old CELERGEN and take, will it help me? So I was taking a gamble. I was thinking that way, you see, because I didn't enjoy what the doctor told me. So I went home and I told Alvin, okay, now, I say I believe in self-heal. You gave me more CELERGEN. I'll start taking double dose every day.
So about 2 GAs are 50K.
So Alvin brought me extra CELERGEN and I started on it. After about 2 months, I realized it's better. It's better.
Okay.
I can walk faster, but not brisk walk, and I can do 5,000 walk, not 10,000 yet. So I took it for another 2 months. I can walk up the stairs already. There is still the pain, but I can walk up the stairs. I feel that the CELERGEN is working. So I carry on taking for another, I think I took double dose for 5 months, and it worked. So after that, I cut down back to the normal once a day.
Okay.
And so I started walking upstairs. I practiced walking upstairs. Initially, there was the pain. I can't say it's, by now I can't say it's 100% healed. At least it's 90% healed. I can do a lot of things, can shake my backside, can shake my legs.
Come on, stand up and show. Okay, now we got to do the cha-cha as well, yeah?
So I'm happy that the CELERGEN helped me out. So luckily I didn't go for the surgery. So that I took so much CELERGEN, it didn't cost me 50,000, of course.
And because we are all your downlines,
and I must take the opportunity to say on behalf of my husband, he should thank all the downlines and the uplines that he's getting a good sum of money at the end of every month where he can spend on mahjong.
wow. May I know, those who are uncles downline, can you please stand up?
I think most of
Wow, so many of us. Yeah, all those under. Thank you.
So now I'm okay. I can do anything.
Thank you very much.
Anytime.
Thank you for sharing. For 3 months, she had a fractured knee and she was walking around. Now I know because I suffered knee pain for 1.5 years after the last operation I had. And then Alvin very confidently introduced me and said, take CELERGEN. In 3 weeks, I got better. Yeah, so thank you very much for that testimony. Okay. So the next one actually was something, it was a little project that Alvin and I did, and we said, let's get our Octogenerians to come up, you know, and this is punishment. Yeah, this punishment for this old man during Chinese New Year. And can I invite our next sharer, Mr. Rocky Chong? Have a seat.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
So by the way, this is my father. Okay, so could you tell us a little bit about yourself? Yeah, you can tell them. Introduce yourself, how old you are, how young you are.
My name is Rocky Chong. Why Rocky? Because I play mahjong. I'm a very hard player. I hold all my second kaki, and my nephew said would tell you that. Okay, I'm 86 years old, but not ready to retire or to go migrate to another world. And all that, thank you very much for my daughter there and Chong Ping, who introduced me to CELERGEN.
So what happened to you while you were getting old? Maybe you want to tell them about your medical history.
Oh, I'm a cancer survivor with half a stomach cut off, but I have no idea what the surgeon did with the stomach, whether he cooked it or he threw it away. And right now I can say I'm physically fit. My medical reports and all that, 6-month annual report has always been good. I used to have a lot of problems, chronic problems, cough and cold, and as an old man, that kind of issues. But thanks goodness to CELERGEN, those are things of the past. I'm independent. I stay with my youngest daughter, but I do my own laundry, my own cooking if I like to. And of course I go on holidays. Just came back from Coco with my daughter and my children.
And what time do you play mahjong until?
To me, life is meant to be enjoyed, to live and enjoy. Life is beautiful, and for that, I must thank CELERGEN for playing its part, and for my children for introducing it to me.
Yeah, we are very independent because after his cancer operation, his stomach was cut in half. So half a stomach, which means protein digestion and all that, protein nutrition, never enough. So when we switch and we say we started him on CELERGEN, actually the medication has been reduced, and then he was not get very good sleep because of frequent urination and all that. So you want to tell us about that?
I must say now, I live a very healthy, normal life. I can sit and play mahjong for about 3 hours at a go, and my nephew said can vouch for that without having had to run to the toilet. And like I say, life is meant to be enjoyed, and I'm glad that I'm enjoying life to the fullest.
So what else have you done with CELERGEN? What else have you done with CELERGEN? You keep yourself so that you keep winning mahjong.
I think I've been taking CELERGEN maybe for the past 10 years. And that's something that I never fear. Every morning when I get up, that's the first thing I would do. I take CELERGEN, I take NGF for my nerve because I also had an operation on my neck. My head was very unstable and then I had an operation here. So the nerves were all, I would say, the nerves and all that were being very hard on me. I took that. That's the first thing every morning that I get up before I take coffee or I take anything else. And yes, it has done me a lot of good.
So when he's independent, we are independent. Okay?
In fact, they should pay me for being independent, right?
I think he can buy his own CELERGEN next time. But he is buying it because when he plays mahjong and all that, then they will say, hey, Rocky, my father here has got 3 GAs under him already. Yeah. So they will tell him, hey, your skin looks very good, you walk faster than most people, you know, and then he will just share with them about CELERGEN.
Of course, I'm also very, very careful when I go and cruise with my nephews and all that. I just make sure that I do not fall down. Okay, because the law of gravity and all that, so that when even I come on the stairs, I prefer that somebody that I can hold on to prevent me from falling.
Okay? Thank you. The person that can attest, the person that's non-family that can attest to him playing mahjong play until very late is Charlene. Because we were just at her resort in Kukup over the weekend, yeah, and he was playing cards until God knows what time, you know. Okay, so enough of old people sharing. Yeah, CELERGEN is not just for old people, it's for the semi-old people as well. So I'd like to welcome our next sharer. Okay, our next sharer is none other than Nick. Hello, Nick. So Nick, could you tell us something about yourself? It's like, what's your past like? Colorful, not colorful, whatever.
Okay, by vocation, after leaving college, I was in the Navy. I was a naval officer for a good 3 decades, 30 years. Before I went into the corporate life of doing office work. So, and I finally retired about 2 years back. So that I spent about easily 48 years working. Being in the service before, you have a lot of opportunity to run, to do all the physical. But once you start crossing into the office life, it tends to go lesser and lesser. And because of that, you also start to realize that a lot of parts here is not working the usual way. And one of them was my knee, because I was doing diving, and as a result, that non-consistent movement, you'll find that your degeneration part seems to surface faster. So that was when I started, the doctor advised, hey, stop running. You're going to...
Stop running?
Stop running. Okay. But do other forms. So I cycle, I walked. But I think the part of me that back in the head is that both my parents had all the highs. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, high sugar. And in fact, he told me that I'm going to inherit all this. That's my inheritance.
I see.
So, true enough, my blood pressure was going higher by BP, and as I go along, I also know that my blood sugar was also rising, but it was not alarming. And being young and immortal,
Yeah, we are young and immortal all the time, yeah?
I think the guys can testimony. Hey, when you got a little bit here and then, no, it's nothing. I must say that after working with my lady colleagues, and the moment something wrong, well, they'll seek for all the attention. But the guys, nothing today, just a cold. And that's where actually a lot of the telltale signs you tend to ignore. So in my case was that I know my blood sugar was climbing, but I didn't think too much about it. I gave myself a lot of excuse, because Chinese New Year, because of Christmas, ate a bit too much.
But you could have prevented it, right? I understand your wife takes a very different route.
Yes, anyway, my wife was, well, how many years back? About 10, 12 years back, she was recovering from cancer treatment, so she underwent a lot of chemotherapy. And of course, in chemo, you lose a lot of immunity and strength. So thanks to Alvin, who was her colleague then, introduced her to CELERGEN. So I'm not...
Ex-army, yeah? Your wife was ex-army.
Yes, my wife was ex-army, like Alvin. And like I said, being young and immortal, I know about CELERGEN, but... I didn't. And first thing Alvin tells me was, hey, what if you need CELERGEN, why don't you go and pinch it from your wife? I think that would be suicidal.
I think that will kill him faster.
So anyway, to cut the story short, one of my medical checkup in June last year, the doctor told me, hey, you overshoot your entitlement. I now hit a 9.1 sugar level without food, meaning I've crossed into the diabetic sector. And that's, in a way, I'll say it's a wake-up call, because all along you're still thinking you're young and immortal, or not so young, but still immortal. So I approached Alvin and say, let me give it a try. So in July, I started my first dose of CELERGEN. First 2 months, nothing happened. But then on the third month, notice it started coming here, and you can see from the slide below, I take very consistent self-check on my blood sugar, and they actually started coming down from the third month. Until my next review, that was 6 months down, it dropped from 9.1 to 6.2. So with this drastic down, I think what I didn't expect was I also lost weight. I lost 10 kg. Okay, that's
Can you imagine?
You don't have to imagine the start state. But so I lost 10 kg, and on top of that, my blood pressure also started to stabilize, and energy level has gone up, because after retirement, I was coached by my army counterpart, the army again, to play golf. In September, I played with him. After 9 holes, I wanted to die. Why a golf course must have 18 holes? 9 holes is enough. Well, I really struggled through the 9 holes, and then after that, the next 2 days, I'm horizontal. Last month, I was brave enough to go with him this time to play Bandung. 3 days in a row, clocking 54 holes. I surprised myself too. And on top of that, the next day was a AMC course. Early in the morning, and I still survived it.
Wow. And I've gone to play golf with Nick as well, yes?
Yeah.
In JB.
So to a certain extent, I would say is that you may not believe it until you try it. And usually you need a little crisis in your life to actually realize, hey, don't take it for granted. All along it's been going up, but you didn't really think of it. So if there's any message I would like to say is, don't wait. Look after it, keep it down. And I think that's the part that if there's anything I can share. And since I came on board, I've been trying to introduce it to friends who either have some issues with it. Not that we want them to just come on board, but I think health is an important thing. And I can probably safely say that for most of us here today, it's now can be a alarm bell if you just cross a red line.
Wow. He actually negotiated with his doctor not to start the diabetic medicine and give CELERGEN a try. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yep. Well done, Nick. Thank you very much. Thank you. So it's not all about sickness and getting old and all that. So sometimes it's preventable, sometimes you make it in time and turn back. But I also know some people who are very energetic even at senior age. Okay, next person I'd like to share. He's now in Australia taking part in some bicycle race, but he's our Ironman. Okay, and I'd like to introduce our next sharer.
My name is Mike Battersby. I'm British. I'm now 68. In a couple of months I'll be 69. She recommended to use it because our doctor had recommended it.
So can this lady please stand up? Where is this lady here? Oh, can you wave to everyone? Yeah, that exactly the same person. You just hold a box of CELERGEN. So what did Mike do? What did he need?
It made me feel good. I had energy, and I've been taking it about 10 years. From October until the event, which was in April the 6th, it's about 6 months, I had to train every single day, no days off. So you had a swim and a run, or a run and a bike, and every single day. You were doing 16 hours of training, up to 16 hours of training every single week. I took two CELERGEN every day. Now, CELERGEN I found helps me, but can we really prove it really helps me? What I found is by taking two, and the fact I was doing so much training, my recovery time was dramatically reduced. I could actually go swimming in the morning and go out for a 60k, 100k ride in the evening, or vice versa, or even go for a run. And just to give you an idea, every Saturday towards the end of the training, I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and do a 6 to 6.5 hour ride, because what I needed to do is I needed to cycle the distance, which is 180 kilometers, then get off the bike and then go run 10k. But after I did that, I'd walk into the house, have a cup of coffee, sit down and watch the TV. I wasn't wrecked. Yeah, and now, in my bag here, look, this is my little bag I carry when I go out cycling. In there, look, is my little first aid kit, 2 CELERGEN, just in case I forget to take them. So anyway, we did the Houston Ironman on the 26th of April of last year, and that's, as I say, one and done. A lot of people do the first one and never do another one. I've done the same one twice now, and I finished it within the cut-off time, and I'm still wearing, like 6 months later, I'm still wearing the band. That'll be on me until I die probably, because it was such an achievement. I'm so chuffed to bits. Ding ding, ding ding, ding ding. One of the biggest things for me, as I'm older, right? I was 68 when I did it. What that means is, unlike a young person who can recover like a 15 or 16 or 18-year-old, they can go run, come back, and run and come back, and the recovery is very quick. The recovery time as you get older, right, not that it's not important when you're younger, gets longer, it's get harder, and you get injured quicker, right? But what I found with CELERGEN is by taking CELERGEN, I mitigated that. I mitigated the actual recovery time. It took me a shorter time to actually recover than it probably used to do. In fact, if I think back to my training when I did in Houston, I found it quite difficult to do 2 full training sessions in a day. Whereas 14 years on, taking correct nutrition and taking CELERGEN helped dramatically. So yeah, CELERGEN really helped me on the recovery times, and I think that's what people will notice. Yeah, Everything else, CELERGEN will help you, right? But from a sportsman's standpoint, is your recovery time, because you can measure that. I ride 4 times a week, every week, and I keep fit, and I keep taking my CELERGEN, and I won't stop.
Okay, so if it's going to help someone 68 years old to recover, recovery is very important. Actually, it's not just for sports people, because I'm also a sportsman. I'm a 3rd dan black belt judoka. I'm also scuba diving instructor. And recovery is very important, and it is especially important as we age, because when we come, in fact, very quickly in our lives, by the time we are about 28 or 30, our degeneration happens faster than our regeneration. So we need, if you would like to exercise, please exercise, but then help your body regenerate. Okay? So this is one of the things that we will learn. And what about things that, you know, for young people here, this is a very successful young businesswoman from Philippines, and she shared something about CELERGEN that I thought was very touching, because, you know, when we, at a certain age, when we stay healthy ourselves, actually it's also a gratitude to our parents. When our parents don't have to worry about us. We worry about our parents worry about us too. So let's hear what she has to share from Doreen, okay? 这个可以放大声一点。
I'm Doreen Lee from the Philippines. I can, you know, what I can share with CELERGEN is it changed my life. Yes, because before I was taking CELERGEN, I was always at the doctor's office. I had problems with my digestion. I had problems with my dizziness. So my dizziness was caused by some congenital problem in my ear. It's called SCDS, Superior Canal Dehiscence Syndrome. Yeah, and then the doctor was telling me I needed surgery. They wanted to open my brain here and foot bone, because my dizziness was so severe that I had to, you know, I had to find somebody to heal me. And I was also under severe stress because I was going through divorce. So, luckily, Jeannie introduced me to CELERGEN. She just told me, since you want to check the link about this product. So I read about it. So I said, yeah, send me a box. Then after that, I felt good. I felt that I had more energy. And then my you know, the digestion problem also improved. So even my mother would say I'm a change one because of that. Because before, every day around 3 p.m. the most, I would be so tired. I would just want to sleep. So one time we were in Beijing and I was with my parents, and my parents were, of course, over my age, you know, wanted to roam around, and I didn't have energy. I was staying in the hotel. So, but after taking CELERGEN, my mom was so happy. She said, you know, whatever you're taking, continue, because you have so much energy and you're so happy. And so that's why I'm telling everybody, you know, sharing it to my family and friends, that they should also take it, because it really changed my life and improved my health.
Okay, so don't think, a lot of us, when we are younger, we think that we have to look after our parents. But the thing is, if you are looking after your parents, please also look after yourself. Because if you are not there anymore, then who's going to be looking after your parents? Yeah, so I hope everybody takes that as well. So that's why I wanted to share Doreen. Okay, next we have another person who will be coming to share with us. And it's none other than Miss Judy Wee. Hello. Yeah, this is yours. So this is Judy. Hi, Judy. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hello, everybody. I'm Judy. Actually, I'm in my early 50s. I used to be a former general manager of a retail mall and the biggest transport hub retail shops in Singapore. So actually, I work very long hours. The number of hours I work, I think you all cannot imagine. I work like 7 days a week, even during my holidays and on my leave.
Was that overseas or in Singapore?
Even when I'm in overseas 10 years, this is the kind of lifestyle I have. Back in Singapore, it was like that. All my friends know I'm a workaholic. It's like non-stop.
So how many of you work like this?
I'm a very bad example, so don't be like me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what kind of challenges were you facing other than work and all that?
Due to this kind of lifestyle, my work was very stressed. It's actually a very stressful lifestyle. I don't have enough sleep. Then in the meantime, it happened also in 2024. Some signs started to happen. I'm having sleeping issues. And in the meantime, is that I get tired easily. Then at one occasion, there's one insurance company asking me to go for checkups, right? I failed my urine test twice. I don't believe it. So 1 month later, my company sent me for health screening. Mm-hmm. I failed again. Then the doctor said, hey, something not very right. You keep failing your urine test. So they asked me, hey, so they measure, I have very high blood pressure. My high blood pressure was like 140, 150. And actually, ways before this health screening, there's one time during the company screening, the doctor also asked me to go for high blood pressure measurement. Okay. It was 140. Then I told the doctor, I think it's because of my meeting. I'm having a very hot meeting. So I think that's why my blood pressure went up. They say, no, you come back maybe 1 hour later. I said, no use, I think it will still be the same. Right? I brushed the doctor off. So when the signs started to happen, then the doctor said, I think you need to take care. I think something is wrong. And I think you have proteinuria. That means you have protein overspill. Then I still don't know what's going on because I think it's due to my blood pressure. And in the meantime, I was only born with one kidney. So I was like, don't care about all the signs and all these things that happen. But over the last whole year of 2024, the doctor kept asking me to go for checks. Every month I had to go for a checkup, and every month they will adjust the dosage of the medication. So I was so fed up because I don't know what's going on with myself, and I know that I started to feel very tired. So around January 2025, I decided to go and check into a government hospital to see a specialist. The reason because that time I already stopped work. To see a private specialist is very costly. 1 month cost me $1,000. So it's really very costly. So when I went check in, and then in January 2025, the doctor pronounced a very bad news to me. She said that you have chronic kidney disease stage 3B. Actually, I can tell you when I first know about the result, I was really very shocked. I was like, wow, I'm only in my early 50s, and I have this problem. And I was so scared and fearful because I don't know what's going on for going to be the next 10, 20 years of my life. So imagine I only have one kidney, my risk is very high. The doctors also say, hey, you cannot go for your CT scan and all these things because your risk is too high. Once you go to CT scan something wrong, that means you're gone, dead,
Really?
Yeah. So the lot of tests, for the whole year, they put me through a lot of tests. I had went through cancer marker tests. I had went to MRI tests, different kind of blood tests. So they started adjusting the dose for me. But it was during also this period of time, I was starting to feel very tired. I can tell I was so tired. Every day I wake up, I feel restless. I have no energy at all, zero energy, okay? By the time 3 to 4 p.m. in the afternoon, I feel very sleepy. I want to go back and sleep already. So with no energy, of course you feel restless. You don't want to do anything with your life, okay? That's how kind of until May, and I signed up for Avita Ambassador course. And during one of ELS, right, they introduced me CELERGEN. I was... a lot of people can talk to me about CELERGEN. I don't really want to take it. So until Chongping himself and Jermaine came and talk to me. So Chongping shared a real life example to me, and Jermaine says, you try 3 months won't die right. After 3 months you see the result, not good, then you give up, okay? So I said, yeah, why don't I just try? So amazingly, after 1 month, my energy come back. Wow, I was like very surprised.
I didn't get paid.
Yeah, my energy came back. I was very surprised because I can do my normal routine life things again. And before that, I was very miserable because during this period of time, I also have very bad plantar fasciitis, very bad sole pain. I used to walk 10 km a day, or 20 km on the weekend days. So imagine you cannot walk and then your life is like that. So you feel worse, right? Very frustrated with your life. So until I took CELERGEN, after a month, I said, hey, not bad, huh? I said, I continue to take. Until one day, Jermaine said, hey, come, let's go for a walk. So I went brisk walking with her. I didn't know I walked 12 km without pain and not feeling tired, okay? I was very, very surprised.
Jermaine is our TCM physician who is a distributor together with us. When you go walk with Jermaine, it is like you've got to really walk. Okay, I've tried, so I know. Brave.
Okay lah, that day, I think that day Jermaine told me that the walk is very kind to me already.
Oh, easy walk, okay.
It's an easy walk lah, okay. Yeah, so because I used to walk 20 km, so that one is quite okay for me. It's just that prior that I cannot walk. Imagine when you stand up, you walk, it's painful. So it's quite miserable, and I love walking. So then by the time I went back to see the doctor in August or September. So initially when I was diagnosed with CKD, my EGFR was 46. So the normal human being EGFR has to be 90. You know, it's about 100% those time. Mine is only half. Of course, with only one kidney, you feel fearful lah. So by the time September when I was diagnosed and when I went back to my blood test, it went down to 43. In December, it went down to, again, it's 43 again. Actually, I was quite disheartening. I was quite discouraged, but I didn't give up on CELERGEN. So because by then, I was studying diet and nutrition course also, because I need to take control of my body, and I know I need to understand my body and my health better. You know, before that, I keep asking the doctor to let me see a nutritionist. Then the doctor said, hey, nothing to do with nutrition. I was like, okay, fine. You don't help me, I help myself. So I went to enroll myself in the course.
Okay.
Yeah. So after adjusting my diet, I cut my meat protein to 1 meal a day, and the other one is a plant-based protein. But of course, I was worried. Okay, the reason I worry about CELERGEN is because CELERGEN is also a protein to me. So I adjust and I cut to, instead of 1 capsule a day, I will take only 1 capsule every alternate days. So after a while, in March this year, after changing my diet, you know, consistently limiting and restricting my diet, in March this year, miracle happened. Okay, my latest blood test results shows that my EGFR went up to 52. So the doctor was surprised. He said that, hey, you from stage 3B, now you're stage 3A, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. So I was very, very sure and happy, because I used to go back to see the doctor like every 3 months, then 4 months, then 6 months. Now the doctor say, nothing wrong with you already. You come back 9 months later. Wow, that day I was so happy, you know. Then in the meantime, of course, I have to say that Jermaine also gave me another challenge, okay. She very nice. She said, hey, now since you already cut your meat protein, I think it's due to your uric acid. I suspect it's due to my uric acid. That's why it affected my your whole protein level, okay. Because when I cut my meat protein, my uric acid went down. So all my indicators actually improved. So now since all this improved, so Jermaine said, hey, since you already cut down to 1 meat protein a day and 1 plant-based, right? You go back to eat
2 CELERGEN.
No, 1 CELERGEN every day instead of alternate days. Then 9 months later, you can test again. Are you better? So to me, it's a process of test trial because your body, you need to test and trial. You don't test and trial, you never know. Yeah, so I will be testing myself 9 months later and see what's the result.
So basically, you felt empowered to take your own health into your own hands.
Yeah, I don't believe in doctors totally. I believe in taking control of my own health.
Because the doctors only take care of your sickness,
Sorry, Nelly.
Yeah. So actually, I'd like to, why I was so confident to share with her kidney issue is because of that lady sitting over there. Lindsay, could I invite you to stand up, please? Yeah, that's the lady whom I also help with some kidney issues, and she started taking CELERGEN as well. She's the only lady I know who was very happy when she put on weight. Thank you, Lindsay.
Yeah, actually it's pay forward. Actually, it's because of what Chong Pei shared about Lindsay that I dare to try. I was hesitant to try because there's no real life example. But thanks to him sharing about Lindsay's case, that's why I dare to try. Then Jermaine said 3 months 不会死的对吗? Yeah, so okay
So what's one thing that you would like to tell everyone about, you know?
I think one thing is don't take your life for granted. Don't be like me, just work and without play. I think health of all is still important. We really need to take care of our body. So, and also I think with some lifestyle changes, with you strict control of your own diet and changing about your habits, right? you can change your health and you can be a healthier person.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Need to walk you down. So that's Judy. So with kidney problem, and actually more and more people are having a lot of kidney issues these days, yeah. So dialysis, even my home downstairs now they open a dialysis center, private one, some more, not NKF. Yeah. So the next person is very interesting. When I heard the sharing from the next person, okay, this was what she said. My pacemaker didn't work for the whole year. And I said, huh? You mean that's supposed to be good news? Pacemaker spoil, yeah? Okay, so I'd like to invite Linda come and share with us. Hello?
Hello?
Yes? So Linda, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I'm 58 years old this year, and then
58?
58.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Well,
Young, yeah.
December, but I say 58 now. So I have a pacemaker inside me, and yes, like what I shared with Chong Ping, my pacemaker did not work at all in 2025. Okay, so basically, what happened was in August last year, August 2024, I had consistently low blood pressure of below 100/40 for 2 days. And I had no symptom. I was perfectly fine. Life was going on well. But, it was a concern, so I decided to have it checked. And then the next thing I know, I was in the resuscitation room, and it was like, okay, you cannot get off the bed. You have to just lie on the bed. I was like, also, what's happening, When you go to resuscitation room, you see all the ER shows, right? Like, oh, they're going to do heart pumping. I was like, okay, what's happening to me? So nobody could tell me anything. And then after some blood tests and whatnot, they come back to me and they tell me, you have a heart block. I said, huh? Heart block? What's that?
Yeah, what's heart block?
Yeah, so I was like, huh? Oh, basically, the electricity flow in your heart, it gets somewhere and then it gets stuck, I would say. Oh, that's very reassuring. Next thing I know, I was in a ward, I was put on this 24-hour monitoring thing, and I was sitting there. Oh, something is very serious. So, at that point in time, I was stuck on the bed, cannot leave the bed, cannot shower. Imagine, I had to go through that for 2 weeks, okay? I was supposed to go through that for 2 weeks, but it didn't happen to me. So, at that point in time, when I was in the hospital, my mind was still on my work, my responsibility.
Okay.
I was still thinking, oh dear, this is happening. I have not finished this submission and things like that. Throughout the whole process. So then until one day, after, consistently a few nights, when my heart rate falls to 32, okay, normal person heart rate should be between 60 to 100. Mine at the lowest was 32.
Very cool.
So, yeah. Okay, if you're athletic, your heart rate can be low, but I'm not athletic. Okay, exercise and me don't get along. Okay, exercise is not for me. So I didn't do any of the three that you put up. So after almost every night of 4 ECG checks, you imagine, falls below 39, you hear a phone ring, and then the trolley start coming. Then I was like, one day I was thinking, have I ever put myself first? It was a moment that I was asking myself, what is happening there? I'm still every day I wake up, I still work, what I have not done. But then I say, have I at any point in time put myself as a priority? That means me first instead of work. So that was when actually I decided, okay, enough is enough. I have to make a very big change. So that comes back to when I actually was starting to take CELERGEN. It was the same, like Judy, I take one, maybe every alternate day, that kind of thing, not consistently.
Suka-suka lah.
Suka-suka lah.
Okay.
Okay? So at that moment when I realized that, hey, I have to put myself first. So I made a firm commitment that if I leave this hospital with my heart fixed in any way, I would consistently really start to take care of my health. And what I started with was, I took 2 CELERGEN every day. it is a commitment I make to myself. That is the change I will make. And that is for me. Nothing to do with work. Okay? So, fast forward to February this year. So I have to go back to my pacemaker clinic to check.
Also at the
After
time
the
when you
implant.
were discharged,
Okay.
they put a pacemaker.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So after the flurry of tests of whatever, it was decided with my heart rate is so low, they have to put a pacemaker. So if anybody don't know what a pacemaker is, it's just a battery lah. So if my heart rate falls below a certain level, the battery will just shock it so that my heart will jump again. Okay, like normal. So February, I go to the clinic to do a routine check. The next thing, the technician, I say, was looking at my thing, and then you see her face all scrunched up. I was like, oh, must be bad.
Jalan.
Jalan. Maybe something wrong, have to change the battery or whatever. Then she said, actually, no. Your pacemaker did not work at all in 2025. I said, huh? But that's a good thing. That means your heart is beating well by itself. So my pacemaker did not have to do any intervention at all. And so to me, that was like, oh. And then I realized what? I only did one very major drastic change. That commitment I made to myself, which is taking 2 CELERGEN every morning without any breaks. No excuses. Every morning wake up, just took 2, and then I go about my day. So that was one change that really I felt I took into myself as the first commitment to really help myself in my health. Yeah.
So you're feeling good now?
Yes. So I also have an inheritance like what Nick has.
Oh, okay, Nick.
Okay, the same inheritance.
Not same parents, yeah?
Not the same parents. But it's the same inherit. Yeah. My entire family, I'm the only one who inherit all the 3, the sun cow. So then, after taking CELERGEN, besides, I feel CELERGEN helps me cell by cell to recover. And my heart cell, I believe that's what it helps to recover. It repairs, it rejuvenates, and it also restores. So that's why I no longer have this problem with heart. I truly believe in that because that was the one thing lifestyle change I made. But it also helped me with my sun cow. So
Got 3 highs. You
my 3
have
highs.
high sugar? High sugar.
High sugar, high blood pressure, and
High cholesterol.
High cholesterol.
Okay.
So my latest reading was everything was good. So the doctor said everything is good, but I still cannot be off the medicine now, which is my aim one day now. But so what I really want to share is that if anybody that's still waiting, I understand where you're at because I am at that stage where I did not put myself as a priority. Okay? So don't let your body choose for you, okay? Because my body chose to shut me down at any point in time. So don't let your body shut you down or stop you. So take the opportunity. CELERGEN is a good product. I truly believe in it, and therefore I feel that there is a choice there. Like Judy say, try lor, 3 months lor, give it a try. Try it first, and it may work wonders for you, just like it worked wonders for me.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So sometimes when your friends introduce anything to you, okay, it's okay. We don't always embrace what was introduced to us. We always feel that we are okay. Okay. So there's another lady all the way from Cambodia. We are in about 10 countries around here. So we have consumers and distributors in all these 10 countries. So next one I'm going to share is somebody from Cambodia. And the thing is this, we are trying to tell people if you have something good to share, please share it with your family, okay? Because I want to invite Lang Sok to share.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lang Sok from Cambodia. The grandma of my husband used CELERGEN for almost 10 years before she passed away during the COVID season. So I heard from the relatives, the family member that, oh, the grandma took the magic medicine, but I don't know what it is. But because she had like serious diabetes for many years, so every time she feel like tired, she feel not well. So when she took CELERGEN, and then I do the research online, and then I send an inquiry to the company, and then company get back to me, and then we meet in Phnom Penh. And after that, so my husband tried CELERGEN himself, and also I started because I knew that I need to have operation. I got accident when I was young, so the doctor said I need to correct my femur bone. If not, my knee will be damaged and my hip also. Then I just had surgery in Taiwan in August and October, and I took CELERGEN 2 tablets per day, and the wound gets healed very fast. And then I feel better when after I got CELERGEN, because I would be very stressful. Then I need to see doctor. I went to Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, and Taiwan before I decided to have the surgery. So without CELERGEN, I think I would be very frustrated. I don't know what to do. Then and I just joined Avita recently.
So this is a case of a lot of times when we all have something good and we feel we are not a doctor and then we cannot share with our friends and family. No, that's not true. Okay? Because this CELERGEN is a food supplement, so if it's done you good, you don't know, tonight the volunteers that volunteer to share with us is because they feel that they are paying forward. Somebody must have shared with them and then they shared forward, and now they decided that more people should get to know about the product because it's been helping a lot of people. So the next person that I'll be inviting to share is a good friend of mine, someone from my team. Can I invite Tina? I think hello, Tina.
Hello.
Yes. Say hi.
Hi everyone.
Yes. And could you tell us a little bit about yourself and what happened to you?
Well, okay, so like most people, I took on a full-time corporate job, right, after I graduated from the university and worked in that job for 20 over years. And of course, I also have a family. I have 2 boys who are, they're all both grown up now. And right now, I am semi-retired.
Semi-retired?
Yes.
So while you're working, was there any time you thought that perhaps sudden crisis, or were you having just a smooth sailing life?
Okay, well, I only talk about health crisis with my insurance agent. Right? Does that sound familiar to all of you?
Or buy the insurance.
Yeah, they always ask, do you have a critical illness coverage? So that was the only time I would talk about health matters.
Okay. So
otherwise, right, as long as my heart is beating, I'm alive, I only go and see a doctor when I fall sick.
Okay.
And sad to say, like Linda, works always take priority.
Okay.
And then we have our daily responsibility. And really, that was exactly how I used to live my life.
And then what happened?
What happened was I was
Do you need
diagnosed.
tissue paper?
Huh?
Do you need tissue paper?
No need. At the age of 46, I was diagnosed with cancer. Now, it came as a complete shock to me because there was no history of cancer in my family, right? So I was asking, why me? And also, why now? Because at that point in time, I was at the peak of my career. So I actually learned the hard way that, cancer doesn't discriminate. It can happen to anyone at any time. Yes.
And what happened to you after that?
So,
what started you on a different journey in life?
The thing is, you all know chemotherapy is very harsh on our body, isn't it? The treatment is a treatment, but it's very, very harsh on our body. Now, chemotherapy, particularly for breast cancer, right, has this very significant negative effect on our bone mass. It will decrease our bone mass. It not only decreases our bone mass right after treatment, it continues to do so for several years after the treatment. Right, so what happened was I was aware of the side effect, and I started a lot of strength training, as you can see there. I even paid personal trainers to help me. I bought 50 personal trainer session at one go because I was desperate. I didn't want, my bone density to continue falling. But despite that, it kept falling, as you can see from the data behind. It not only fall, it continues falling at a faster rate than, my strength training. And eventually, I got diagnosed with osteoporosis, right? And then that was 2020, you all know is COVID. By 2024, I felt really something wasn't good, with me. I went to go, commission another bone density, and that was when I realized that it's even worse. I got diagnosed with osteoporosis plus a 4-risk warning. Now, 4 risks basically mean I will have a higher tendency to fall down because my bones are weak. And secondly, even if it's a low impact fall, there's a very high chance that I may still fracture my bone. Now, what happened then? I went to the polyclinic because I wanted to get a referral to a specialist. I want to do something about it since strength training wasn't helping me. And guess what? The doctor refused to give me a referral letter. Can you believe that? Until today, I cannot understand why he refused to give me a letter.
A referral to?
To a specialist. To, at least help me, to fix the problem. In fact, what he wanted to do was he wanted to prescribe me medication, but I refused. I have enough of medication after chemotherapy, right? So I literally just pay for the consultation and walk out of the polyclinic. Right? And it was about that time that my husband came to know about Avita, and we came over here for a product experience. And when we were listening to the testimonial, I decided then to give CELERGEN a try. And the reason why I decided to give CELERGEN a try was because it was a natural supplement. It wasn't medication, it wasn't drugs. And I was due for my next bone density scanning in 6 months. So not 3 months, but I decided to give it a try for 6 months. Right, so my next bone density test was actually scheduled in July 2025. Alright, I started CELERGEN in January 2025. But I didn't go in July because I was due for a holiday in August. As with all,
Sounds about right.
Cancer survivor, right? Actually, going for medical check is the scariest thing. We don't want to, hear of relapse or whatever. I didn't want to spoil the family holiday. So I said, okay, never mind. Come back from holiday, then I go for the scan. But when I come back, call the doctor, his appointment was all full. I could only get an appointment in October. When I went for the test, I was surprised, as you can see here. For the very first time, my osteoporosis reading reversed. All right? I was officially out of osteoporosis. I'm still in the osteopenia range, but that's a lot better than osteoporosis. So right now, I'm actually back to strength training. All right? I'm still consuming CELERGEN.
Well done.
Yes.
So if there's one thing you want to share with people here, what would it be?
So basically, I think one thing is we are not invincible. Anything can happen to any one of us anytime. And I realized that all along I was doing what we call reactive care, which means caring for our body only after something has happened. So my biggest discovery was that preventive wellness is actually a lot more powerful. So right now, my husband and I, we are very, very committed, to living life differently, putting our well-being as a priority.
So go forth and share with more people, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Tina.
Thank you.
So we hear a lot about we hear a lot about cancer these days, yeah? And osteoporosis, cancer, 3 highs, okay? So now it's about time I bring up someone, okay, whose score is this 2-0 in her favor. Let's welcome Christine. Hello. Right, have a seat, Christine.
Hello, everyone. I'm Christine. Yes, and this is me.
So right? Looks like right.
Just shorter hair, that's all. Yeah.
So I understand you recently went through a very life-changing moment.
Yes, as recent as end of 2024. Well, what happened was, have you ever were you very diligent in your annual health screening?
Basically, those who feel that I go for a medical checkup every year,
Yeah.
I'm okay.
So I'm someone like that. I go for annual health screening, and on top of annual health screening, each screening I have all my tumor markers, right? I add on to my free annual health screening that's provided by the company that I was working with. Now I've been clearing all my annual health screening, and my tumor markers are clean every year. So imagine the shock. Like 30 days later, the doctor told me that I had cancer. So I kind of look at the doctor and say, it cannot be. I just did my annual health screening, and my tumor markers come out clean. So of course the doctor says, well, this is bad news, but it is what it is. So it's quite shocking, because I couldn't connect those two data points, right? When I had finished my health screening, my report was clean on one side, and another side, my doctor was telling me a totally different story. So I said, let's do this carefully. And of course, then I was put through a lot of other tests, just to, first of all, to see how fast it has spread, and where it is for location. And lo and behold, after I did the numerous number of tests, including a PET scan, I was diagnosed with another cancer. So I have 2 cancers to deal with. Of course, my mind went totally blank.
2 cancers.
2 cancers.
Buy one, get one free.
Well, you can say that. And by that time, the doctor was telling me, Christine, you've got to look at the cards you are dealt with. If the 2 cancers are connected, you are stage 4. My mind calculated very quickly that I don't have much time in stage 4. So 1 year ago, this was only about 1 year ago, I wouldn't have imagined myself sitting here sharing this story with you. But if the cancers are not related, then I'll just have to manage 2 primary cancers, different type of cancers. I don't know about you, but if you were in my shoe, right, you would want 1 or 2, in that sense. It's very difficult situation there, but the practicality and the pragmatism of how I am wired kicked in. I just say, okay, if this is the case, let's do what is necessary. Let's get it tested. Let's get it sorted out in that sense. And by the time I went into the operating theater, my medical team was 7 doctors, right? So it was 2 separate cancers. I have 2 surgical teams, 1 thoracic and 1 gynecological. And the doctors did not want to stage different operations. They want to do it simultaneous because they don't want to risk the one or the other tumor growing faster while waiting for recovery of the other one. So it's a bit like K-drama with 2 teams working on me. And that's how it happened in my mind, right? I say, okay, now I've got the thoracic side and I've got the gynecological side. They're going to have an OT drama there. And even the blood bank was on standby because my lung cancer, the tumor was very close to my heart. And so even the thoracic surgeon who operated on me is a specialist for both the lungs and the heart. So that was a very expensive surgeon. But, at that point, right, you realize that money is not a big deal. You just want the health back, right? And all the CPF that I have doesn't matter. I just want my health back. I say, okay, doctor, please come and take care of me, right? You take care of this lung part, and the other team takes care of the other part, and just let me wake up in that sense from the OT. So it was an 8-hour surgery. It went well. They told me to be prepared for a 14-day hospital stay.
14 days?
14 days, not 40, 14 days. So I was mentally prepared. I packed a suitcase, I said, okay, I'm going to spend 14 days in the hospital. But this is the second day of my operation. One day after ICU, I was able to sit up. And the doctor were amazed. Both doctors were amazed because lung and gynecological, meaning that the whole body is in pain, right? In that sense, but I was able to sit up. And by day 3, I was independently walking out of bed. And by day 5, I was fit for discharge.
Day 5?
Yeah, day 5.
Wow.
It was so fast that I was thinking, hey, I haven't unpacked my suitcase. I haven't read a single book. And I'm on my way home, right? So if the two teams of doctors were pretty amazed at my quick recovery, because they say that I recover faster than anybody who's undergoing or underwent one surgery, and I have double surgeries, right? So of course, then I was even strong enough to start rehab by day 13. So that you can imagine, right? I'm supposed to have a 14-day hospital stay, but by day 13, I'm independently going to a rehab center, strengthening my lungs. So how does my voice sound? Strong enough or not? Yeah. Right after surgery, my lung function was only 50%, so I couldn't risk catching any infection. In fact, my doctor told me, at 50%, you're worse than the late Pope, okay? Please don't get sick in that sense, because it just cannot cope in that sense. So I think many of my friends here have not seen me for quite a while last year, as I try to, keep my immunity, try to preserve my immunity in that sense. So needless to say, chemo commenced after 8 weeks because they need to let the physical wounds heal before chemo starts, right? Like what my friend Tina says, the harsh chemicals are coming in. The surgery, if I thought surgery was bad, the chemo was another round of reality for me. And I actually took CELERGEN after I was discharged from hospital, and
during the chemo.
And during the chemo itself,
okay. That was kind of like reckless, was it?
Well, it wasn't reckless, because if I know that if I ask the doctor will say don't take anything, right? But there are doctors in Avita, and I've been working with them on how to take it in a responsible manner, right? And I know that chemo is going to whack out all my cells, right? Good cells, bad cells, all whack out. I say that if there's any time that CELERGEN is going to do a wonderful, awesome job, is when my cells are all whack out, right? And then when CELERGEN goes in, and all my healthy cells are going to, blossom in that sense. So So I'm on a 3-week chemo cycle. So that means 1, 2, 3. Then the 4th week you start again 1, 2, 3. Right? For some of you with friends or relatives who have gone through chemo, you know this particular cycle. So of course, when I was on the day of chemo, I don't waste precious CELERGEN, right? You put it in and then the drug is going to flush it out. So I took it when the day, 1 week after my chemo went in. Amazingly, by my 4th cycle, my oncologist suspend my chemo treatments. That one was also a surprise to me, because although my blood works were very stable after each chemo cycle, my effects, I don't have this huge effects. I do have some minor nausea, but it can be dealt with. I can manage that. I wasn't on any medication, just painkillers, and I didn't take a single painkiller when I was on during my whole chemo regime. The only thing I was having in my body was CELERGEN, very diligent, right? So when the doctor announced, Christine, I think we better suspend the chemo, not stop, suspend the chemo. I said, why? We can't find cancer cell activity. So they suspended. I said, oh, that can only be good news to me, you know, in that sense. I said, okay, great, yeah. So, but they say, but we still need to monitor you because we just want to make sure that the cancer cell activity doesn't come back. So I've got to go for my 3-month scans. So the following scan, clear. Then they extend the scan to 6 months, clear. And I think as of now, I've been 1 year treatment-free from any cancer treatment, right? So the doctor says that, okay, now we will downgrade the kind of scans that we will put you through. And I must say that, you know, the fact that I could sit here and share with everyone with a full head of natural hair, I attribute it to the wonderful supplement that I have known and eating it diligently. And I think that is my greatest benefit of knowing about CELERGEN.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. That's such a powerful sharing.
Yes.
Okay, so anybody who asks about with cancer, that's why I've heard a lot of stories about cancer in Avita, and anyone with cancer who's going through the very harsh treatment, I always say, give CELERGEN a go. Right? What's the worst that can happen? But thank you very much for sharing. You fight 2 cancers.
Yes. So that's why 2-0 in that sense. Right. Okay.
Thank you, Christine.
Okay. Right.
Thank you.
And, in any case, if there's one thing that I want to leave with the audience, is that never assume that if your health screening results comes out good, your tumor markers are clean, it doesn't necessarily mean that your body is okay, because that was what happened to me, right? So, okay, right. Thank you for the opportunity.
I think that must have been very hard to share. To share about 2 cancers. How many of you were kind of like, wow, with that sharing? Yeah, I think so too. Me too. Okay, so now with all this, let's talk about illnesses, shall we? So, there's a particular doctor that's mixing around with us. She even, together with us, learned about our TCM set of oils and has been going around promoting our oils, our supplements and all that. And she's also one of the person who's very instrumental in making my father take the supplement. So let's put our hands to welcome Dr. Nelly Chong.
promise you will not throw your shoes at me. I know everybody here hates doctors.
So this is Dr. Nellie Chong, and as you can tell by the surname, she's related to me. She's my sister. Younger or older, you decide. But yeah. But actually, so we form a good combination after she taught me something about healthcare and sick care. So would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself, your history as a GP?
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Chong. We all have to promise, I know everybody in Avita hates me, I was actually going to go out just now. Because nobody trusts a GP, nobody likes a doctor, then how? So luckily I retired. So it's okay, you can continue to hate. Anyway, I've been a GP, a family physician for 35 years. And in my work, I see patients from very young to very old. So I have many, many generations of patients. And somewhere along the line, as I grew older, they grow older together with me. Then I realized that how come my patients are getting chronic illnesses very early? I have patients at 40 years old with heart attack, with diabetes, with cancers and everything. So I feel that at one point in my life, maybe I was growing older also, I felt that I was not in healthcare. I was actually in sick care. Because no one will see a doctor unless they are sick, right? So, and no one believes in taking care of themselves when they are not sick. So at one time in my life, I'll tell people when they ask me, what do you do? Oh, I'm in healthcare. Then when the time I reached 55, I was like, I'm actually in sick care. So yeah, so that's how I started.
So how do you come across CELERGEN?
Somebody gave me some CELERGEN. I look at it and like, what's this? Right? I've got better supplements, cheaper supplements, and I can afford most of the supplements that I give to my patients. Right? So I didn't believe it, of course lah. Why would I believe it, right? I'm a doctor ma. So I tried because at one point in my time, a lot of things were happening. My husband had heart attack at the age of 50, had to go for bypass. My father was sick, grandmother was sick, father-in-law was sick. And then that person came and told me, you know, if you fall sick, the whole family also sick, you know. There's no one to look after us. So you better make sure you take care of yourself. So I started taking because it's very expensive. And then I felt that I was more energetic. I slept better because I have less stress. I just slept. And a lot of my patients started noticing that I was looking much better. They were all betting that I went for Botox lah, facelift lah, all kinds of things. And everybody wanted to know what I was taking. So I thought, okay lah, maybe got something in it that I don't know, yeah? So started learning about it. And then the first guinea pig, my father. Because I was tired of looking after him. He was costing me a lot of money. So every month I buy him the medicines at cost. It's still more expensive than one box of CELERGEN lah. Yeah, so from about 10 to 15 types of medicine, we cut until he was just taking CELERGEN and NGF. So I felt that, and because now he's so capable, I don't have to look after him. So he go and travel himself. I can do my own things, right? So I felt like, okay lah, it's money well spent. And now he's earning his own CELERGEN, so it's even better for me.
You want to share something about what happened with your father-in-law? Your late father-in-law, you were rushing him to hospital.
Yeah, my father-in-law passed away at the age of 94. And he used to live in Farrer Road. My clinic was in Clementi. So in between my clinic sessions, I'll be running back and forth because the maid will call me and say, Mama, Gong Gong now breathless. Because he had heart failure. So I was rushing back and forth, and every month he'll be in hospital at least 2 weeks. And then the doctors won't do, there isn't very much to do for him lah. Because at 90 something, right, every medicine you give will have a side effect. So you are always balancing. This one take, this one cannot take, this one. So finally I told my sister-in-law, okay, let's stop it. Let's try. Because it worked for my dad, maybe it will work for your dad. So we started him on CELERGEN for his heart failure. And he got very much better. So towards the last 3 years of his life before he passed on, he never had to go to the hospital. Of course, I also learned the meridian therapy, put the oils and all that, and his heart failure got much better. The maids were taught how to massage him, treat his lungs, so he stopped using inhalers, he stopped using nose sprays, and he passed on very, very happily at home with all of us around. And it brought us a lot of time because we were spending quality time with him at home rather than in the hospital where he was being put on all kinds of drips and things like that. So I think in that instance, it really helped him. Whether I believe what is in CELERGEN or not, it truly showed up in how I manage my patients.
So do you help your patients with CELERGEN sometimes?
Mike.
Yes, by the way, Mike.
Mike is my patient. I used to scold him when he told me that he was going for the Ironman. My first thing with Piggly was, please don't die. And then he's gone to another one now. Yeah, but the thing that impressed me most at first was my very first patient who started CELERGEN was actually someone who couldn't sleep. He had very bad insomnia, and we all label him as a drug addict because he goes to every different clinic, takes sleeping pills, take cough medicine, and I used to scold him because very young chap and taking all these medicines. So just out of spite one day I told him, I tell you what, I'm taking something that helps me to sleep very well. Would you like to try? Because I think he cannot afford Then he said, how much? I said, it's about $12. Then he was like, $12 a tablet? If I can sleep one night without any medicine, $120 also I pay. So I said, very good, 1 box of CELERGEN. And after that, I never saw him. After that box of CELERGEN, I never saw him ever again in the clinic. And the next thing I know was I met him at Avita office. And he's happily back at work without being labeled a drug addict by all the doctors and didn't have to be dependent on sleeping pills. So for that, I was like, wow. Yeah, so that's my most memorable patient, my very first patient, number 1. The other patient that somebody I just saw recently was Indian patient who has rheumatoid arthritis. For a man to get rheumatoid arthritis is already quite rare, but his was really bad. So his fingers were really bad. He couldn't even open the door. He couldn't write. And all he wanted was either steroids or painkillers. So, of course, I'll fight with him because I don't like to give steroids and I don't like to give painkillers. So we had a big fight in the clinic. He said, I know what I'm doing. The doctors always give me, I'm seeing all the specialists and all that. And I said, good, go there. Don't come to me. I do not give such things. So we had a big discussion. Finally, I say, want to try this or not? Because it's something that helps in inflammation and it helps to build up your immunity. So he was desperate because I won't give him the medicine. Then he said, okay, I'll try. After 10 days, he told me, guess what? My joints are much better. I'm off all painkillers. This is about 8 to 9 months already. He's not taking any painkillers at all. And of course, he's not asking for steroids. So he lives quite near the clinic where I'm working at now. And he just, every time he runs into me or with his friends, he'll say, this is a doctor that saved my life. So y'all don't hate me so much, okay? Please.
All right, thank you very much. So I know this doctor refused to give painkiller, and that's how I got to know CELERGEN as well, because I was in pain for 1.5 years after my 6th knee operation, and she refused to give me painkiller or steroids. That was when I went to Alvin, and Alvin introduced CELERGEN to me. All right, thank you. Okay, so tonight you have heard from different people, young, old, sick, not wanting to get sick. You heard from a doctor. So you heard about CELERGEN. You heard a lot of stories about CELERGEN. CELERGEN is not about fixing one problem. Okay? CELERGEN is about supporting your body so that you can age gracefully. Okay? Because it functions better. So anybody who tells me I want to age naturally, I also hope that you will age naturally in a very, very good way. And I think CELERGEN is a solution that you could explore. Okay? And the best time to take care of your health is when you still have it, not after you lose it. And I have these 2 hourglass there, because most of the time we will always check our bank books and our bank account, correct or not? And then you check your bank account and you find that your bank account getting lesser, you panic. Nobody ever checks the calendar. Because we are aging, we are getting older, we never look at the time hourglass. So the thing is, always prioritize, take care of yourself when you reach a certain age, because that's where your family is going to be needing you, or you're going to be a burden to your family. It's your choice, okay? So what I would like all of us here, especially the new friends, is to experience it, okay? And for that, we have promotions for CELERGEN, okay? If you have family members, husband, wife, taking it, the 25 box is definitely worth it because you save $4,000 over. You can get a 13+1, that's a direct silver, okay? And you save almost $2,000. Or, like what I told Judy, right? Take 6 boxes, 3 months, won't die, right? And that one, you save $1,200. Okay, so don't go home without CELERGEN, because you heard it from the people who has taken it. And I wish you all, go out there, find out from the friends who invited you, find out more about CELERGEN, ask from all those people who have taken CELERGEN, and bring it back, experience it yourself. All right, and with that, thank you to the people in Zoom, and thank you to all of you. Thank you very much.